Lakers Nation, what is going on? So welcome back to the channel with the new video this afternoon, and it's Mr. 81. So we just got a recent report coming from Bavada Official. Shout out to him for, reporting this, but this is from the NBA Central Twitter page, and they noted that the Los Angeles Lakers team are the favorites to land shooting guard Jalen Green if he's not with the Houston Rockets next season. And I would take this with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, we don't know if this is legit, true, or false, but these are rumors, and every player that you can imagine or think of in the NBA is always going to be linked to the Lakers because it gets, views and attention, right? But I digress. So let's continue on. Here are the betting odds. So the Lakers are plus 2000, the Knicks are plus 2500, the Miami Heat are plus 2800, the Clippers are plus 2800, the Golden State Warriors are plus 2800, and the Boston Celtics are plus 3300. The OKC Thunder is 5000, and lastly, the Toronto Raptors are plus 7500. Now, how do I feel about this as a Laker fan? I would stay far away from, Jalen Green. I don't want him anywhere close to the Lakers. And we do have some assets. I mean, we got Austin Reeves. He's on contract till, 2027. His contract is, very valuable, especially for the production that he's giving you in the regular season. And some people say, oh, he's the best third option in the league. But where was that in the postseason when we needed him the most? But he did struggle against, elite defenders, Jaden McDaniels and Shea Gillis-Alexander's cousin, which I always forget, Nikhil Alexander Walker. That's his name, right? So pretty much, Anthony Edwards was, guarding him. He did struggle at times, but it was just poor execution, turnovers, shot selection, I would say. But you still got Rui Hachimura, and maybe you include Dalton Kinnick. You got your first round pick swap. But even then, if I'm the Houston Rockets team, I'm looking to put Jalen Green on the trading block. Doesn't mean you trade him, but you look to see what you can get for him because in order to take that next leap, you got to get a star. I mean, you got to get a number one option. Like, who's the guy? Because the Houston Rockets are, if not one of the youngest teams in the league, and this is the first time they're entering in the postseason since 2019-2020 in the bubble. And shout out to their head coach, Ime Doka, and he's turned this organization, this team around. I mean, they drafted a bunch of their players, Alfred Sengun, Jalen Green, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith. I mean, the list just goes on. Even Amen Thompson, he was the best player last night. He led the team in scoring 24. He's very elite, super elite defensively, very good at holding his opponent defensively, or offensively, I should say. And also, Alfred Sengun was like their second leading scorer last night. He had 21 points. But the veteran point guard and Fred VanVleet had 17 points. But if you actually watch the game, he did struggle. And Jalen Green was just terrible when the team needed him the most. He had like 8 points and 4 rebounds, 1 assist. But I do want to show you his stats for 2024-25 season, right? So he's averaging around 21 points per game, 4.6 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 0.9 steals, 0.3 blocks, 2.5 turnovers, 32.9 minutes a night as a starter, shooting 42.3% from the field and 35.4% from the three-point on 8.1 attempts per game and 81.3% from the free throw line. And his true shooting is 54.4%. But he only had like one good game in the series, and it was a 7-game series, and that was like game 2 where he dropped 38 points, 6 assists, and 8 3-pointers made. But like I said, last night he did struggle, and the Houston Rockets were in the game. I mean, the beginning of like the first quarter, second quarter, they were getting blown out, but they made a run, and they cut it to like 10, and then they cut it to 5. And the closest they got was like 63 to 65 points, and then the lead just got extended by like 10 points. But they were just struggling to generate. They're struggling offensively, and they're a young team. Like, Jalen Green is supposed to be their second option, and he just didn't come to play. And they're good defensively, but you're not gonna win games if you're only good defensively and you're struggling offensively, right? But I'm even forgetting Cam Whitmore. He was drafted by them. The Lakers should have had him, but they got Geno Ficino. But I digress. But the Houston Rockets, they're just deep. They have a bunch of young players. One of the deepest teams in the league. You go and trying to say, but Houston Rockets, Jalen Green is 6'4", weighs about 186 pounds, 23 years of age, former lottery pick in 2021-22 NBA season, first round. So they have a lot of work to do. The Houston Rockets, they're upcoming. They had a great season, right? Second overall seed. The record was 52-30. They did face the 7th seed Golden State Warriors, but guess who was their best player? It wasn't even Steph Curry. It wasn't even Jimmy Butler. It wasn't even Draymond Green. Out of all the players, it was Buddy Hield. He had like 33 points, which is actually insane. But the Houston Rockets just didn't come to show up, and the fans were not loud. I mean, they're the home team, and you lose a 7-game series, but it just showed the lack of experience. And the Golden State Warriors had the advantage because their experience, and Jimmy Butler's a real thing in the playoffs, and Steph Curry, you see what he can do. You know what I'm trying to say. But for the Los Angeles Lakers, I think they should just really focus at the center position, which they are. Athleticism. I know Jalen Green does bring athleticism, but he's not great defensively, and he still has to work on his defense. And he has tunnel vision. Doesn't really have the greatest IQ, but I think the Houston Rockets need an offensive coordinator just to work on his offense to be able to translate it all together. If you go and trying to say, but he's a below average defender, unreliable defender. Can he at least be competent? Sure, but it's about the fundamentals because 2024-25 season, his defense rating was 113.1, which is slightly worse than the league average. And the Houston Rockets were like 11.4 points per 100 possessions worse defensively when he was on the floor. And his struggles were especially apparent in the 2025 playoffs, where he did score, 13.3 points per game, and a drop from 21 points per game to that stat line. But pretty much he was outperformed by Draymond Green, and he still needs to, work on his defense. But at least he brings that effort. Now, the fit with Luka, that's the main concern because Luka's a high usage rate player, one of the highest usage rate players in the league, and he's a ball dominant player, right? And so is, Jalen Green. He's a ball dominant player, but can he play without the ball or off the ball? I don't think he can because he struggled to score yesterday, right? He could create his own shot. He could get going. He could get red hot, but when you surround this team with some, 3-and-D guards or some wing defenders, if the Lakers were to trade for a player like Jalen Green to put him alongside Luka Doncic, because they need the ball in their hands and they would just be redundant on the court. So I would say they're both at least below average defenders, which can create, significant gaps on the defense end, if not complemented by, strong defenders around Green, because they're both off ball movement, and the decision would make them also need to improve for this pairing to work efficiently in offense where Luka does dominate the ball. But let me know in the comment section. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe. Really means a lot to me. We're on the road to 3K subs, and turn on the notification bell so you guys get notified whenever I drop trades, signings, free agency, all that good stuff, because I'm going to continue post 365 days, and this is going to be a very busy offseason. We're already getting trade rumors, and it's starting to heat up. This is one of my favorite times of the year, but after the Lakers got eliminated in 5 games in the first round against the Minnesota Timberwolves, it's just been nothing but rumors and, players being linked to the Lakers, and, oh, they're the favorites to land this player, that player, but there's always going to be those betting odds. You get what I'm trying to say? And we're the Lakers. We're also going to get that media attention, that scrutiny, and headlines and, narratives. But yeah, man, cheers. And follow my description. Follow everything, my socials, or they'll be in the description. I don't know why I said follow, but I digress. And yeah, man, I'm out of here. Peace.